Yeah, it goes everybody, because today we'll continue on with a game called Katawa Shoujo. Where were we? Let's see. 3. Yeah, I think this is it. She seems content to walk in silence, and I myself had no idea what I could possibly say. So the two of us arrive at her house, having said nothing since getting off the bus. Emmy's mother opens the door and doesn't seem surprised to see me standing next to her daughter. I expect that Emmy would have phoned ahead to let her mother know of the change in plans. Emmy, Hisao, you're just in time. Lunch is about ready. Great, I was afraid we might be running late. Running, because, yeah, okay. As fast as you were going this morning, I doubt there was much of a chance of that. I certainly hope she wasn't too much of a bother, Hisao. She tends to get a little paranoid about being on time when food's involved. I hadn't noticed. This earns me a swat on the arm from Emmy, who, despite the serious nature of our conversation on the bus and the almost brooding quiet walk, has quickly become cheerful again. Probably to keep her mother from worrying about whatever it is Emmy plans to tell me later. Oh, my neck. Mrs. Ibarazaki ushers us in, and in short order, we're around the table devouring lunch. I hadn't realized how hungry I was until I got here, but for once I seem to be eating almost as much as Emmy. Goodness, it's a good thing I made so much. The two of you are acting like you haven't eaten in days. I skipped breakfast this morning. Me too. Had to catch the bus, I assume. Dad and I figured you make too much food, so it wouldn't matter if I skipped breakfast. Well, it's good to know that I'm predictable. Emmy nods enthusiastically, and the conversation falls off again as we very nearly clear the table of anything edible. It is a testament to the sheer amount of food on offer that we don't finish everything. I lean back in my chair with a sigh and thank Mrs. Ibarazaki for the food. I'm glad you liked it, Hisao. Now, has Emmy told you where we're going? Yeah, sort of. Is it far from here? Not really, but we'll drive there to save time. It closes kind of early. I nod in assent and stand up, ready to go. Well then, shall we? Mrs. Ibarazaki nods and leaves the room to grab her keys. Emmy, I notice, has started to fidget nervously. Second thoughts? Emmy smiles sadly at me and shrugs. She's fallen silent again, which probably means that I'm right, and she is starting to regret bringing me along. Not that I blame her, she's done such a good job of shutting me out that I doubt it's easy to suddenly open up. Honestly, I'm worried that she's forcing it. But she said while waiting for the bus that I'm not supposed to give her a chance to back out. It's just a promise to go with her anyway. I suppose there's not much of a choice. I can't go back on my promise, and she can't go back on hers. We just hope that both of us are up to it. We're off. Emmy's mother blows through the dining room, collects the two of us, and heads out the door at a brisk pace. Now I know where her daughter gets it from. Cool. The car pulls up at the cemetery gates, and I feel Emmy tense up beside me. I reach over and give her hand a comforting squeeze, which causes her to relax a little. Emmy's mother doesn't follow us, explaining that she prefers to visit the grave alone. Emmy steps through the gates and looks back, as if to make sure I'm still there. We step into the cemetery. I don't feel comfortable in cemeteries. Gravestones litter the ground, each one serving as a reminder that someone used to be alive and is no longer. It would be funny if the father is actually just working at the cemetery. That's his job. How many died young? How many were as old as I am now? When do I wind up with a marker of my own? How much longer do I have left? The concept of not waking up, not seeing Emmy anymore, is not a happy one. It frightens me, and I very nearly turn around and exit right then and there. I don't want to go among dead people. I don't want to see their stones and think about who they were and what they could have been if they'd only had more time. Then I look at the girl next to me and my resolve returns. Emmy's striding purposefully down the path, eyes clear, setting a pace that's very nearly a jog. The sooner we get there, I suspect she thinks the better. We're here. Damn. A gravestone wholly unremarkable in everything except for the name etched upon it. The grass has grown up around the base. Emmy's eyes are riveted to the stone. After a few moments, she turns around, looking surprisingly calm, yet solemn. pink's not actually my favorite color, you know. Well, what? I'm warming up to it. Yeah. People tend to think that pink's my favorite color. I think it's because I like strawberries, and even though those are red, they just assume that pink's the right color for strawberries. And that's it, my favorite color. But it's not. I'm too polite to tell anyone otherwise, of course. It's not the kind of thing worth getting worried about. But I'll bet even you thought pink was my favorite color. Blue. That's my favorite color. My mom and dad are the only two who know that. And now you do too. I thought greens because, your eyes matches your outfit. Thanks for telling me, I think. You're welcome. There's a pause as she considers what to say next, drawing a quick breath. I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can hum, but actually singing a song is something I've never been able to do. I don't mind, because I'm not a fan of karaoke anyway. Well, that's one potential date idea out the window. People all think that I'm a really popular and friendly person, but I only have a few close friends, probably because I keep everyone in the dark. But I think it's also because I hate the idea of losing a close friend. There aren't many people worth the risk. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. I sometimes think that I only run because it's what I used to do with my father. You're not my first boyfriend. I dated a guy for a long while during my second year at Yamaku, but in the end we broke up because I didn't want to get closer to him. He couldn't live with that distance between us. Her rate of speaking increases slightly, as if she's rushing towards a finish line. I'm actually 1 year older than you. Everybody thinks I'm younger because I'm short, but I had to skip one school year because of my accident. They initially thought I was paralyzed when they pulled me out of the wreckage. I'd lost my legs already, but they were afraid that I wouldn't even be able to use what was left of them. After surgery, it was clear that their initial assessment was mistaken. I couldn't feel my legs because of shock, short-term paralysis due to the other trauma I'd experienced. My recovery was one of the fastest they'd ever seen, or so they told me. I never found out if they were serious about that or if they told that to all the patients learning to walk again. Oh, okay. She pauses, gathering herself for one last effort. 8 years ago today, I lost my legs, and I lost my father as well. He died on the way to the hospital. I didn't even get to go to the gravesite until 2 months later. I couldn't attend his funeral. I'm so sorry. Don't be. That's what everyone always says, that they're sorry. I hate hearing that. Like anyone could have done anything to change what happened. You know the best piece of advice I got? These things happen. I don't even remember who said it, but I guess they didn't have anything better to say. But it's true, These things happen. There's nothing you can do about it. They aren't necessarily planned, and they aren't always bad, and they aren't always good, but they are. So I made a decision that I would live without worrying about the future, and to be sure that I never had to say goodbye again. I decided I wouldn't let people get close to me anymore. After all, they could be taken away at any time, and you know what? She laughs a little bitterly. Her eyes start to well up with tears, and I step forward to embrace her, but she holds up a hand to stop me. I'm not finished. A deep breath, and she continues. It worked pretty well until I met you and saw that you were trying to adjust to stuff here, so I thought I'd help, and then you were so nice and I couldn't help it. Aww. The tears are flowing now, and she accepts the embrace this time. The rest of her sentence is mumbled into my chest. I tried not to fall for you, but I did, and then I tried to keep you at a distance, like with my first boyfriend, but I couldn't. But I've been so scared because I don't want to lose you, and I might anyway. Hey, I'm still around, right? Maybe I won't be forever, but don't you think it'll be fun while it lasts? Neither of us could survive the day. There could be a bus crash or something, but so long as I know that I've been with you, I don't think it matters. A sudden thought strikes me, and I can't help but laughing. My condition had me scared of dying so badly that I immediately seized on the opportunity Emmy presented to improve my odds of living longer. But without Emmy, would there have been any motivation to keep up with my running? It hits me that Emmy is the reason I want to go running every day so I can spend as much time with her as possible. Emmy looks up at me, confused. We'll go on living until we stop. And when we stop living, we'll be able to know that at least we've had time together, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because I love you, Emmy, and right now, that's enough for me. God damn, this is so romantic. I am so not used to reading some things that are actually good. Emmy smiles through her tears and steps back from me. You know, it's funny. What is? I thought that the best way to live in the moment was to do it alone, but now I don't think I'd have it any other way either. I'm glad I met you, Hisao. Well, these things happen. Oh God, what a clever use of these things happen from a negative into a positive. God, it's so fucking good, man. Emmy and I stay by the grave for a while. Zemi pays her respects to her father. When she's ready to go, we exit the graveyard side by side. God, so fucking good. Emmy's mother drives us back to Yamaku. The trip back was very quiet. We wave goodbye as the car drives off, and I glance down at the girl leaning on my arm. How are you feeling? Emmy shrugs non-committally. I'll be fine. Come on, let's go. We pause outside the girl's dorm and I turn to face Emmy, ready to say goodbye. Why don't you come up for a while? Okay. Alright, the walk up to her room is in silence. I'm not sure why I suppose I'd be turned away at the door. I guess I just assumed she wanted to be alone. Her mom, the nurse, hell, everyone who knew the significance of the day seemed to think it best to leave Emmy alone. But she took me into the graveyard with her. She told me the whole story of what happened on the day she lost her legs. She wanted me around. The significance of this does not escape me. Emmy opens the door and steps into her room, not even bothering to invite me in, holding the door for me expectantly. I step in and the door swings shut behind me. Hey, can I ask you a favor? Sure, can't guarantee I'll do it, but... Emmy giggles and pulls me into a kiss that starts out soft, but deepens into something almost desperate. Stay with me, please. God damn it. Oh, my old romance, IRL. It reminds me of this one. Her voice has dropped to a whisper. The question is barely audible over the sound of my own breathing. There's something about the way she asks that question, the hesitancy in it, the quiet voice that makes me think she doesn't mean tonight. No, she means exactly what she said. Stay with me, not tonight or forever, because both of us know there's no such thing as forever. There's no time limit to her request. There's just the request. The favor. Can I do that? Can I stay with her? Of course. We embrace again, Emmy guiding me towards her bed, stepping backwards with care until she sits down on the edge. Oh, okay. This is the part where things get grilly. Grilly? This is grilled chicken. What happens next? I collapse next to Emmy, who almost immediately curls against me, smiling. For a while we lay in silence, savoring the feeling of being next to one another. Emmy's the first to speak. Hey, Hisao. Thanks for coming with me today. I smile and plant a kiss on her head. Of course, my pleasure. Emmy snuggles closer. I could feel her breathing begin to slacken as she begins to drift off to sleep. Just as she's about to fall asleep, she wakes up enough to mutter a single sentence. I love you, Hisao. Aw. Then she's out like a light, leaving me feeling like I'm on top of the world. I draw the slumbering Emmy as close as possible, pull the cover over us to keep the chill off, and fall asleep as happy as I've ever been. Aw. So adorable. God damn it. Emmy has got to be my favorite, only because it reminds me of my old romance, because it reminds me of my ex. The things she said, the things we do, is almost like a mirror. The morning light seems to reach further into Emmy's room than it does into mine. This results in my waking up earlier than I would have if I had gone back to my room last night, as had previously been our routine. I did not realize it until this morning, but this is the first time we've actually spent the night together. A small movement from my partner's still slumbering form causes me to look to the side. Hair splayed across her face, Emmy continues to sleep peacefully, curled up next to me. It's slightly weird seeing her without her trademark twin tails, but it's also a look I could get used to. The small size of the beds here necessitates her curling up, but I'm pretty sure she would have done so anyway. The covers are nearly over her head, and I smile as an errant strand of hair causes her nose to twitch slightly. Unable to help myself, I draw her a little closer, a move which she seems to think is a good idea. Her steady breath raises a trail of goosebumps on my chest, but I don't mind. I am no longer tired, but I do not feel a need to move from my current position. Emmy's warm body in repose against mine is far too comfortable to move. I gaze up at the ceiling and consider how it is that we got to this point. We've been close for a while, but not this close. It seems like only yesterday she ran into me in the hallway, and after apologizing decided to take an interest in my well-being. But that grew into something else which I at least was not expecting. One thing is for certain, having found Emmy, I will try as hard as I can not to lose her. My morning musing is interrupted by further movement from Emmy. Her eyes flutter open. She seems briefly confused by my presence in her bed. Then she smiles happily and sits up, her face looking down at me. "Good morning, Isao." "Hi, sleep well?" Yeah, I did. Exhausting day yesterday, you know." I think back over yesterday's trip to the graveyard. "Yeah, glad to hear you slept well." "How'd you sleep?" "Well, enough, although you kept hogging the covers." This earns me a shove and a stuck-out tongue. I chuckle, and Emmy giggles a little, and we fall quiet for a while. I soak up the feeling of how right it all seems, waking up with Emmy by me, crammed into a bed made for one person. It's something I could get used to. "Hey, Hisao." "Thanks for sticking around." "No problem. Saved me the walk back anyway, right?" This draws another giggle, but then Amy's expression turns serious again. "No, really. I kept trying to push you away because I thought that was the right thing to do, and you stuck around through it all. I haven't made any of this easy for you, but you stuck it out anyway. So really, I mean it. Thank you." She punctuates this by giving me a kiss, pulling back and looking at me with an expression of affection. I reach up and ruffle her hair, smiling all the while. I'm stupidly lucky, I think, to have come through everything after my heart attack, and to somehow found this girl is nothing short of a miracle. "You're very welcome, Emmy." Hold the tears. I couldn't bear the thought of giving you up. "I'll even continue to stick around if you want." "I'd like that." "That settles it then. I don't know how long my heart will keep working, and I don't even really know what I'll do after this year is over, apart from going to university. As long as Emmy's around, I think I'll be okay. I've managed to help her, and she's managed to help me. If we keep doing that, we'll be okay, I think." "So, Hisao, what do you want to do today?" Oh my gosh, such beautiful writing. Jesus Christ. There is a God. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. But now I have to do something awful, fellas. I have to do something awful. I have to do this to get the other ending. Go after her. Oh fuck! I'm regretting. I should have went for the bad ending first, and then the good ending to end on a good note. But because I'm an idiot, okay, let's fucking go. The only way to find out is to go to the source, and the source is currently pretending that she has to use the toilet. Oh no! Why didn't the mother stop me? I excused myself politely from the table and head that way, only to catch sight of Emmy not in the bathroom but in the kitchen just next to the living room. Amy's left the door open, and as I approach, I can see that she's holding onto the table in an attempt to compose herself, an effort that fails as soon as I open my mouth. Was she gonna stab me out of nowhere? Doesn't look like nature's call was that urgent. Asshole. Amy jumps and glares at me. What are you doing here? I didn't come here to be with other people. I just wanted to help you. You look pretty rattled. I said it was nothing, didn't I? And besides, I thought we'd established that you can't help me. Now we've established that you're stubborn. Look who's talking, the guy who followed me. This is different. I want to help you with whatever this is. Funny, because I want you to leave me alone. But why can't you just trust me? We've been over this already, Hisao. I've got to deal with this stuff on my own. I won't accept that. You need my help. You just won't take it. My wording seems to have been a little off. Little. I need your help? Well, it's a good thing we met, isn't it? Because otherwise, I'd just be a broken human being, wouldn't I? No, it's a damn good thing that Hisao came along to save the day, isn't it? Because God knows I can't save myself, can I? I'm just a poor, emotionally damaged girl with no legs, right? Emmy, you know I don't think that. Really? Because if you thought differently, then I don't think you'd be here saying I need your help. I've gotten pretty far in life as a normal human being without you. So what? Nothing we've shared was important? I'm just the guy who hangs out with you? You're my boyfriend, Hisao, not my savior. Well, no, that much is obvious. You won't even consider that I could be a help to you, will you? You'll just bottle it all up and hope that a run will solve your problems, or you'll come visit me and we'll fool around until you feel better. Yikes. That's not being a healthy human being, Emmy. That's not what a relationship means. Well, it's what it means to me right now, Hisao. I wish. She seems to reconsider her words just then, a flicker of pain, of doubt on her face. For a moment, I think she's about to cry. But the moment passes and now she's composed herself again. Whatever that wish was will have to go unspoken. Look, I can't do this right now. What? Have a serious conversation? Be open? Be honest? Give a damn about anyone besides yourself and your problems? What do you know about my problems? Nothing. You don't know what I've been through, so don't pretend that you do. I know you have nightmares and I know your father's gone. What happened to him? Emmy's head jerks backwards as if I've just slapped her. That brittle quality has gotten back into her voice. That's enough. This is stupid. This whole conversation has just been variations of Emmy stonewalling me. What? You won't even answer that question? Fine. Keep your secrets. They can lie in the grave as far as I'm concerned. Ooh, a poor word choice, guy. Emmy's eyes widen in shock. When she speaks again, it's in a voice that is low, dangerous. Get out of my house, Hisao. The sudden change in her tone snaps me out of my self-righteous anger and makes me realize, with a dawning horror, what I've just said. Emmy, I didn't mean... I said go, Hisao. Tell my mother she cooked a wonderful meal, but you've forgotten a prior engagement, and get out of my house. She's trembling now, shaking with anger, or sadness, or determination. Her voice is still low, controlled, almost a growl. I reached out to put an arm on her shoulder, to apologize for going too far, but she jerks away from my touch. Get out! What can I do? I walk out of the kitchen and go to the living room, make my apology to Mrs. Ibarazaki, and let myself out. Fuck. This hurts. This hurts. This is awful. The writing's great because it's making me feel awful. God damn it. How do you do this? Is she gonna break up? Of course she is. The morning alarm sounds and I roll over, switching it off. My eyes open blearily to stare at the ceiling. What am I going to do? Do I get out of bed, go down to the track, and pretend that nothing happened? Will Emmy even show up? After last evening's events, I doubt it. Even supposing that she did, what would I do then? Get over this fight just to dance the same routine the next time something's bothering her? I know that I spoke hastily last evening, especially trying to use her father as leverage. But was anything I said really off the mark? Yes. She won't let me in, ever, and she'll be forced to suffer alone. Nothing I do, nothing I say is going to change that. She won't change, and she's already decided to keep me at arm's length. Can I really bring myself to go down there and see her, knowing that I'm never going to get past where I am now? Oh, man. No, I decide I really can't. Not today. I roll over and go back to sleep. She probably won't be there anyway. Damn. A similar mental conversation repeats itself when it comes time to go to lunch, and I eat in the cafeteria, alone. I don't want to see her. The very thought makes me feel ill. Oh, okay. So we decided to avoid her completely. That night I go for a run. I'm solo for the first time since Emmy got sick after the track meet. Skip seeing the nurse just in case he asked about Emmy. I don't want to talk about her either. Damn. The next day I did the same thing. Alarm off. Stay in bed. Eat alone. Run alone. To fill the time that I would usually be spending with Emmy, I start reading more. It works surprisingly well until I find myself ducking to a restroom because I see her walking down the hall in between classes. If she noticed me, she didn't show it, even though I don't suppose she ever shows anything. Certainly not to the girls from her class I see talking cheerfully to her, or to her fellow track members. Especially not to me. Alarm off. Stay in bed. God damn. Moto and I have a lengthy talk about the possibility that string theory is plausible. I don't buy it myself. More than 4 dimensions I could buy, but a bunch of vibrating strings at the subatomic level? That's asking a bit much. Looks like I'm not the only one to think this way too. Apparently, it's not really as strong theory as it once was. Moto says that just because nobody's found the right way of looking at the data yet. Eat alone. The rooftop is deserted today. I briefly wonder where Emmy and Rin are, but shrug off the question. The important thing is that they aren't here, so I won't have to talk to them. Since I have nobody to talk to, I bring a book with me to read. The weather's nicer, if getting a little hot. Hopefully it will be cooler in the evening. A cool breeze seems to back up my theory. Shit. Run alone. It is in fact cooler at the track. No sign of Emmy, which is exactly the sort of thing I'm going for. I stretch out and start on my usual run, trying hard to ignore the lack of a running partner in front of me. Fighting my thoughts drifting, damnably, to that girlish laugh, incorrigible grin, those wide and friendly eyes, her incredibly toned body. I increase the pace to clear my head, chew up the distance between me and the turns, find the speed that makes me think only of my legs and how much they burn. I glance at my watch as I round the final turn, noting that my time's gotten faster. Damn, my heart seems a little squirrely tonight, so I give myself a few extra cool-down laps, just to be safe. No reason to bring this to the nurse's attention. I'll be fine. A rather Emmy-ish thought to have, I admit. I have to hope that eventually I'll stop thinking about her so much. I finished another book before going to bed that night. I'll have to stop by the library tomorrow. Damn. This goes on until graduation, right? I don't know why I keep the early alarm on anymore, but it wakes me up the next morning just the same. I still turn it off and go back to sleep. Gosh. That afternoon, I get ready to head to the cafeteria for another solo lunch. I've got a new book about a couple of con men in ancient Persia that I'm pretty excited about reading. I'm suddenly cornered by Misha and... I guess just Misha. Off to eat alone again, Hee-chan? We've noticed, you know. We? She-chan and I noticed that you've been spending more time alone. She wanted me to find out why, so I told her I'd ask you. I'm surprised she didn't ask me herself. She would have, but she wanted to get a head start on some paperwork. There's a lot of since we're coming up on the end of the term, you know. Why does that interest in my well-being anyway? She-chan said, it is the duty of the student council to keep track of the emotional health of its students. To allow a constituent to spiral into depression unchecked would be an unforgivable failure in the council's duties. Well, that's easy then. I'm not depressed. But you're eating alone and nobody's seen you and Amy together at all. Something happened, didn't it, Hee-chan? Mrs. voice takes on a slightly sterner tone, though somehow she keeps the familiar lilt at the end of her sentences. I purse my lips, uncertain about how to respond. Let's save here. Yeah. Let's downplay the issue. I'm not sure I like the idea of airing private matters to the student council. Nothing major. Hee-chan, lying is a terrible thing to do. She's not buying it. Okay, give her something, but not too much. We had a disagreement and haven't resolved it yet. Oh, why not? Because look, I don't need to talk about this, okay? It's not a big deal, okay? I'm fine. And Emmy, is she fine too, Hee-chan? Misha's voice was taken on a decidedly serious edge. This is ridiculous. I don't know, okay? I haven't asked. Things are complicated right now. What kind of man are you? Things get a little rough and you're going to hide from them? Misha's sudden retort catches me completely off guard. She-chan, would you call that a cowardly act? And she'd be right too. You two were close, happy together, and you're just going to roll over and die without a fight? You should be willing to fight for your girlfriend, Isao. Seems that Misha is channeling Shizune at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that Shizune gave her a script to follow based on my answer. Misha points an imperious arm at the classroom door. Now you get out of the classroom and patch things up. We still got afternoon classes. This doesn't seem to dissuade Misha. Then after class, you'd better do it, Hichan. It's important that you don't leave things like this. Why? Misha regards me as one would regard an animal's droppings. Did you care about her, Isao? That's important, isn't it? Huh, she's right. I do care about her. Don't I? Okay, I'll see her after class. Great, I'll let Chichan know you're okay then. The look returns. Guess that means that Misha isn't angry at me anymore. She waves and disappears down the hallway and I eat my lunch. While afternoon classes draw to a close, I prepare myself for the task ahead. I have to see Emmy. Well, I was at least correct about that. Leaving the question of Emmy and me an open issue won't work. At the very least, I need to apologize for what I said. Consider going to her room to find her, but she's probably still at the track. The steps out of the main building and down the path to the track make me feel like a doomed man. I have a twisting, horrible feeling in my gut that this is all going to go horribly wrong, that I'm not going to accomplish anything, except for maybe driving the final nail in the coffin of whatever it was Emmy and I had. There she is, just as expected, running laps around the track after everyone else has gone to shower and dinner. I don't wave or even make my presence known. I just sit down on the bleachers and watch her run her laps. It takes her a few trips around the track before she notices me, after which she skids to a stop, eyes wide in surprise. Surprise is quickly masked by anger, which in turn fades behind the mask that I already know is impenetrable. What are you doing here? Not quite the response I'd hoped for, but at this point I don't have much of a choice. I wanted to apologize for what I said the other day. The other day? She laughs, a curt exclamation of disbelief. It's been almost a week, Isao. Yeah, well, better late than never, right? Emmy crosses her arms and stares at me coolly, as if sizing me up. Finally, she nods. I suppose you're right. Water under the bridge, then. I forgive you. Is that all? Her almost impatient question catches me so off guard, since she's halfway down the track before I think to shout after her. No, wait. Emmy stops, turns and walks back to me, breathing a little heavily and looking annoyed at my interruption. What? Okay, I need to make things right. Somehow, I have to know where I stand, maybe patch things up. Can you at least sit down? I think we're okay talking here. Fine, sure, look, about us. Pause, trying to think of a good way to phrase what I'm about to say. But before I can launch into an impassioned plea for giving me another chance, Emmy's already spoken. There's no more us, Isao. Why not? We're just not right for each other. She delivers this outrageous statement without even looking in my eyes. I don't believe you. We're great with one another. Says the guy apologizing for getting thrown out of my house last week. It was a fight. I said something really incredibly stupid and apologized for it. And how many times have we already discussed the problem that started the fight? How many times had I told you that there was a set boundary that I wouldn't cross? And how many times did you keep trying to cross it? Because your boundary was stupid. Emmy rolls her eyes, folds her arm across her chest and cocks her head to the side. Do you see this, Isao? This is why we're not right for one another. Her voice softens a little, and she reaches out to stroke my cheek. You're a good guy, but we're not going to work. With a horrible lurching feeling, I realize that she's been practicing this, maybe every day since I left her house. Even the cheek stroke seems rehearsed, like something out of a movie. She never intended to give me another chance. Hell, she probably would have been fine with never seeing me again. So that's it then. Nothing else to say but, gee, it was fun while it lasted, but so long? This actually seems to amuse Emmy far more than I wanted it to. She gives a rather morbid-sounding chuckle. That's how I've lived my life, Isao. You should know that by now. And it was fun. A sad smile. She shivers slightly, and the smile vanishes. But it's over now. It's for the best. I want to yell, to scream at her, make her see reason, that this is stupid, the whole act, that she's just afraid of me, afraid of what being close to someone means. I want to tell her that I love her and that I can't just give up on her at the drop of a hat. Except there's no point. She's made up her mind. We're done. Fine. Emmy nods, satisfied. I want to hit something. Good. She brightens with a false cheeriness. See you around, is how? No, you won't. You won't even try. God damn. She shrugs as if to say, have it your way, and turns her back on me once more, quickly accelerating around the curve of the track. I feel numb. This is it. The end of the road for us. Whatever that was. Closure, at least. Amy runs the track again without sparing me a second glance. She's running much faster now, and I can't help but think of that first run together. I ran to catch you to try to prove that I wasn't as weak as I knew I was, but it ended badly for me, didn't it? And now you're off running too fast for me again, and I have the choice to run after you again. But I won't. Not this time. You'd never let me catch you. Christ, I don't even notice walking away from the track, or walking into my room, or pulling a book out of my bag to read. Just before bed, I reset my alarm. Amy and I have had our final encounter. We don't speak again after that. Depressing. Now what? Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. That was fucking depressing. That was oh man, that's heartbreaking, man. But yay, we did it. We did the thing. We have two good endings. Oh boy. So this is it. This is Katawa Shoujo. So we've done Emmy's route. I'm still gonna continue playing Katawa Shoujo, but I'm gonna play some other games first before going back to Katawa Shoujo and randomly choose another route. So yeah, I hope you guys understand, because Katawa Shoujo really is long, but man, the writing is so good. At least it gives me some refreshing. It refreshes my mind after reading mindlessly stupid visual novels like I don't know, Yandere-chan. Oh man, it's so good reading good visual novels again. So this is Katawa Shoujo. We're done with Emmy's route. Next time we'll choose some other route. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. It's free on Steam. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.